Welcome to Age of Empires 4. We are on land mega random with 8 players in a free-for-all. Thanks for joining us. Let's check in with who we've got on the map here. In yellow, as we've already been chasing, we have yellow playing one of the 3 English, heading south here, where they are looking to potentially collide with blue. Merc, who's also in the English. We'll come back to them shortly. Yellow, they're looking for a town center far to their south. Maybe not initial conflict. To the east, we have in orange the Mongols and Ostra. Starting off with already getting an abandoned outpost, so being able to get a little extra vision, claiming the forgotten ruins that will only pay off a little bit later. Red, passing them by, is looking to head. Maturo. Looking to head out to a further spot here. They will be in the far east. In the pink, in the north, we have the Rus. Lost Ronin spot near them. A nice deer pack, gonna give them some serious gold early on. In the west of the map, Teal. Still looking for a good spot here. Zoning out. They are playing the Malians, and they're looking to see what they can find. We'll see if they're able to scout out this gold vein up here. Back in the west, we have Purple, who's having a tough time finding a spot. At least they have a merchant camp. But right now, their king is going to have to pay attention. You almost have an early game loss here. Well, we're a couple of moments... We're a bit into this game already, and Purple's gonna survive, not taking a particularly efficient route out of there. But finally, our last player in green is the Japanese. Starting off on the berries, a good central spot here. Only one sacred site, I believe, on this map. Only one sacred site, indeed. So, Japan getting themselves in position early here. You know who's not in position early is Purple. Finally getting this town center. Everyone else got theirs up. Purple, or excuse me, Red, getting theirs up. Other villagers still making their way from across the map. Good time to use control all villagers. Grab all your units, you make sure they all come with you. So, who's got a good spot here? I have to say, I really like where, yellow is at. Not only is yellow pretty secluded, they have their back to a wall, which is good, right? They don't have to defend their entire south. They don't have to defend their east. Their 2 closest players, blue and purple, are both a screen away from each other. That means that they're going to be at each other's throats, while yellow can bide their time and pick off one or both of them, depending on how they play it. You know, I think pink has a really good spot here. Rus very powerful. Good mid game, great late game even. But they're gonna have to identify Teal as their weak link here. Teal got started way too late, and pink has to know that that's the way that they're gonna need to proceed. Now, what could we expect to see out of this? Well, a few things. I mean, Pro Scouts is great for the civilizations who can do that. Juicy doesn't need to do it immediately, at least here. They're focused on the deer next to their base. They're going to get some great resources out of this. And I don't think that they've identified a whole lot of other camps. They have identified no other camps. So they don't have the information right now to assume, hey, it's going to be worth it to go into Pro Scouts. The Rus almost, you know, you can assume that there are deer out there to get. The Mongols out here have moved the Gur, and they're going to try to get some of this. Green Scouts trying to distract them away from their deer. Now they have to be careful. If I'm the Japanese player, I'm not pushing the deer out. I'm pushing the deer into the ring of my tower. But At this point, it's not what they're going to be able to do. And now blue has surrendered. We missed it over here. The late blooming purple was able to tower the gold and get the edge on blue. Blue had nowhere to go. The longblows are going to work down William the Conqueror here. So English on English crime. And purple is unexpectedly going to get the first kill of the game here. Now, I don't know if I love this play here. I mean, purple, you only have a population of 10 as soon as the scout comes out. You're using half of your resources to get that. I get it. I get why you want to do it. But you've used a lot of villager time to get that kill. Now there's a target on your head, and you don't have the eco to back this up. Scout's going to start making their way. What purple also gets with this is a nice little food collection. 7 sheep, a whole deer pack, 2 stone. So what looked like a really tough position to begin with ended up being an excellent one for them to have. Scout going to grab those sheep. Yellow is going to see what they're up against. Maybe start putting the pieces together of exactly what happened up here. So the game plan here has changed significantly for yellow. You know, I say their game plan. They didn't know this was the case up here until just now. But now they have one target. They have a clear target. They cannot let purple take advantage of that king kill. The king kill only matters once you hit your 200 population cap. After that, great. You're getting extra units that you wouldn't otherwise have. But until then, all you have is a target. So England can easily go for a second or even third town center. They need the space to do that, and it's going to be up to yellow to deny them that space. Pink, with the Golden Gate coming down, second town center, looks like it's underway. Wood chopping, just going right into the stealth forest. Who needs a lumber camp? I like the slow tapping it up. Slow tapping up your landmark. You only need 2 villagers on it. What are you going to get out of it? Not more than your villagers can get. So I think that's a good effective move right now. Juicy over here, still working on those sheep, working on those deer, on this gold. Good village placement. So they are relaxing. Orange still able to access the food. And now another tower coming down. I'm going to try to deny. And this is just out of the range. So they're just going to move over to their tower. Orange. Away from the risk that green poses. As the Coca Township comes down. An interesting play here. Aggressive. Coming down with 5 villagers. And they're going to look to do some... Well, what are they going to do? Are they going to do tower harassment on the outpost? Are they going to try to slow down the town center? What is going to be their play here? We'll come back and check in on them. Teal got the pit mine up. Interesting decision to put the town center here where it blocks out one of the houses you would have been able to put down. But it's safe. You don't need to put down a mine. I don't love it, but I get it. Purple getting their own Abbey of Kings down. Yellow getting a second town center down. The knight is a third town center, excuse me, getting their boom on. They must have correctly read here that purple is unable to mount much of an offensive because they started so late, even with that extra king kill. They're gonna go for this big push. They got 2 of these Forgotten Ruins. They're going to be collecting gold. They're going to be getting those relics. Lots of villagers moving over to that gold. So the 3 English players down south here. 1 blue already eliminated. Their deer still yet to be consumed. Purple, for their part, going for a second town center. They have not scouted out their opponent. They do not know that Yellow, their primary adversary, already has 2 full town centers pumping away here. Yellow is really feeling like they're in the driver's seat here. A 3rd town center, though, coming up here for the Rus. A great sheep haul. Hello. Love that as the Rus. Might be able to get up to castle with just the bounty alone. More hunting cabins coming in. Stealth forest. Underutilized, the stealth forest and the hunting cabins for the gold, but now we have our 2nd shinobi out. This tower has been indeed the target, so the Japanese are going to be able to secure all of this food for themselves. Another farmhouse coming down, a 3rd shinobi, and hardened samurai tech coming through here, so the 2nd tier upgrades coming through. Gur getting out of dodge. And interestingly, the whole Mongol camp has done what they do best. Kublai Khan said to his people, "We're out of here." The Khan, not to be confused with Kublai Khan, has scouted out. Now I wonder how much they know about this area and what they have available to them. You know, could be scouting a little bit better. They have much better resources available to them. But I like this as the Mongols. You don't gotta stick it out. You're in a rock and a hard place. Juicy's to your north. Speaking of which, Juicy is going for the pro scouts now. A bit delayed pro scouts. Not supervising the stable at this time. Also, an archery range is out. Good meditation gardens. I mean, suitable meditation gardens. Your standard food, gold, wood, income. Could be stronger, but you're happy to take that. Now, the infantry force of the Japanese destroying the Uvu. They're going to let that burn. They're going to take the outpost. Onabageisha. Now, interesting, they went for the hardened samurai upgrade. I don't think they have any samurai, however. Japanese scout, or excuse me, Juicy scout in the Japanese base. Back in England, the Western Clan, they have a 2nd town center. They're producing no military, no more gold collection either, so I don't really know what they're building up to. A lot of food. They're not collecting much gold. These villagers are, it's a 3rd town center, so a 3rd town center will be coming down for them, which is good for them with their extra population. I mentioned earlier how you don't want to, you don't get a benefit from that king kill until you hit that 200 population. You want to get high on that population then early. A lot of infrastructure for a single gold villager. Yellow might want to send these out there. You have a safe gold. Use your map control. Use what you got. Get the resources that are not safe. Keep them for later. Really, Yellow feels like they're light years ahead. Big production coming down now for the Malians. A 4th stable. The cow boom is well underway. They're coming in hot. So, looking for a castle pretty soon here. No one else is in castle. The Mongols are only, I didn't even realize this, they are only now entering feudal age. Nothing like a good 14-minute feudal. Ooh. That's rough. That is rough. Japan now posturing towards Juicy. Juicy has a good counter for this mass in the Jukunu coming through here. I don't know how much they recognize the threat. And here it comes in. They're going to see the threat now. Villagers pull away. The 6 Jukunu are not going to cut it, so they need to start supervising. A dozen plus infantry for Japan. 15 infantry for Japan. good line of sight as well with that abandoned outpost. So we're going to have to see if Juicy is going to start trying to get more out of this. The mill in the front is destroyed for some reason. And forward mills, you know, I don't know. You got you got berries in the back. You have a lot of other places you can put these farms. I don't think that this is wise in the slightest. Japan's gonna see some of this, I believe. Yeah, they're gonna start seeing the farms coming up. So a huge risk play here. I don't like it at all. You're not gonna get the gold from half of the gold collection of these back. You know, you have all the space back here. You want to get the granaries down to long term. So I think really inefficient play here from our Juicy playing friend. So it's going to be a tough position for them. England in the meantime, England West we'll call them, purple. They're going to have a tower compromised here. Triple stables down for the English. Going for that mobility comp. No production yet for the Castle Age Southern English. Of course, with the White Tower, they have 1.5 of whatever production unit they want. So they have half the production of 3 stables. Not to mention the flexibility to go into a more deliberate counter. Scout on scout fighting. Not sure why he's not just sending the horsemen over. And also, just not enough food here, so some macro decisions. You know, lots on wood. You know, you don't need 2 villagers building all of these houses. That's a lot of lost villager time. So, you know, a little attention here by English to get down a few more farms. You don't need all these houses. Get your farming economy. You have the best, well, you have one of the best farming economies available. You also have enough horsemen they could challenge the Wolf's Den back here. Get that gold. Heal it up with the Knight. Heal it up with the Abbey of King. Shaharan Trade Network had come down here protecting this. The cow boom fully in effect with the Grand Fulani Corral coming through here. And we haven't really checked in on Rus in a while, but their 3 town centers looking strong. A somewhat forward high trade house. I mean, this is producing a ton of gold at 217. You like that. It was probably was the best location. I mean, they could have put it up here. A little forward. It's a little vulnerable down here. Some idle villagers as well. But Pink here is really locked up and ready to go for the long haul here. Really in a good position. They're going to have these very strong knights coming out here. Warrior monks joining the fray. And actually immediately heading out, it appears, to pick up some of the relics that they have identified. Guarding them. They don't know about too many of the relics on the map, so they'll only be able to leverage the 2 that they know of. This one to their south and this one that's in the safety of their base. Doing a population check here. Yellow, 106. Oh boy, a second town center here for Orange, and they're at 36 villagers. They have to be the next ones out here if somebody identifies the target. And actually, it makes sense in a way that the Japanese are targeting Juicy. I mean, they're the ones who are at their border. They're the ones who can threaten them. Pink also posturing towards this position. But anyway, let's keep going with our population check. Green, 103. Pink, 103. Purple, 77. Only 46 for the Malines. So they don't need as much population with the Grand Finale Corral. And they might be going for a town center or 2 here. And now Japan is sensing it's time to take out the Mongols. The king is out. They might have used the king ability to move in here. Now Japan has not alerted, and they've actually pulled up. They've stopped. Oh, if only they knew. Maybe they didn't use the king ability. Huge opportunity here. I mean, this is just ripe for the pickings. Anyone could walk in here. And now we missed it, but oh, the king came through. The knights came through for from the roost. We saw them posturing, and they pick up the kill here. And now they're just in a very powerful position. Japan has to be careful to not underestimate their position here. They have the counters they need. This is only 8 knights. The samurai could hold it themselves. Onoba, Geisha, and Shinobi are easy enough to take out the Mongols, but they're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to see that opportunity right here. And now the Rus pushing forward. Rockets coming down from the Shogunate Castle. Rus sees the force here. Not picking up the Ronins yet. A lot of idle villagers. So Japan not in the position they need to be. Japan has not effectively scouted out the opportunities to them. They have not taken advantage of the relic in their base or the one that's in their easy line of sight here. So that's a lot of gold they're missing out in. Yellow now with a large cavalry force. And they're running through here. There is a lot of production, but there's nothing here. There is nothing here to defend. They're gonna sweep through the base. The short bows, 7 villagers standing strong here. They're looking for the king who's fleeing to the north. He is picked up. King's gonna hide in the town center, but it's gonna be Nomad. Oh, he's not in yet. The villagers took him all the room. He's down. So, all 3 English players have eliminated each other. Yellow now in an excellent position. They've had the boom going. They lost out on the initial kill of Blue, but now they have an excellent opportunity here. They're going to take that merchant camp immediately. And now we have another looming threat. Green on the move here. I think they might have scouted out the movement from the north. They're fleeing. And it really feels like the Japanese are going to close in just in time here. They need a boom. And they need to start pivoting. Oh, King's got to be careful. Did the king check move? Sees where everyone is. They need a second town center. They're going to get this kill, and they're not going to have the resources to be able to pump through at the level that they need to. Kublai Khan on foot, uncharacteristically. Big force coming through here. Now, you need the Onoba Geisha to run forward. Right now, the samurai are slowing down the rest of the army. Some hits are being made. And, you know, Orange sees the writing on the wall. And that's going to be a kill for the Japanese. So now, pink with a kill, yellow with a kill, green with a kill, and teal with nothing. Yeah, I tried to say teal and kill at the same time. It's a rough thing. We suspected a town center was coming up based on the stone production, and there it is. Moving towards that base, Bruce gonna start identifying that teal is perhaps the next threat or the next opportunity. Moving out. Teal gonna only see it late. They had a tower up, but they're seeing it late. Villager's gonna be knocked out here. Villager's gonna absorb that stone. Big Sofa force. Streltsy out. I missed that they had already gone Imperial. What did they go up with? High Armory. It's so good. You get all that cheap, discounted siege. At the cost of not unlocking the stone walls, however. Not much army here. Sofas are gonna start streaming out. 5 production buildings for the, 5 stables. They also have the archery ranges. Javelin throwers can be effective against the Streltsy. Whoa, here. As the English were looking to fight into the Shogunate Castle, the relic had just been picked up. Big army here. 69, a wonderfully nice number of cavalry in the Japanese base. Japan here struggling to keep their head above water, and we missed it, but a surrender from the Malian player, completely overwhelmed. The Knight Force, and I'm assuming Rus can get gold from these cows, no? I think burning down these ranches and eating those cows could be pretty lucrative for them. And it looks like another kill is going to happen here. Pink has their second kill. Yellow looking for their second kill. Rus not seeing the blood in the water, so this is going to go, in spite of the village's help. King goes down, and we're down to 2. 27 minutes into the game, we got 2 left, both with 2 kills. Now, that means that they're both in a position to get up to 300 total population. England already at 221, doing a good job expanding out with their force, but not doing a great job absorbing the resources. A huge gold vein up here. Gold veins to the west. Relics. They need to grab these before the Rus do. So with the English at 227, the Rus are at 198. And they're about to lose their whole army here. Rus cannot take this fight. They only notice late. Horsemen running around the back on the Streltsy, the knights and the man-at-arms fighting up front. And this is going to go horribly. A few villagers wandering in, trying to get over to get a keep on the Soul Sacred site. Not the time for it. They need production. We're not seeing production coming out for the Rus. They have resources to get a lot more out. England now getting the Sacred Victory. They have their keep up. Rus has yet to cancel theirs. Oh no. Does English see it? Oh boy, you hate to see it. Rus had sent out some siege, and England hasn't yet noticed it. Now they notice it, they're going to start moving south here. Yeah, you can't just shift-click your units into the enemy. What is this? I mean, I guess you can say it buys a little bit of time. But Rus, not, you need to be producing full time now. 20 units, not here. You don't need to be building 3 houses, 3 at a time here. You need resources, you need production buildings. Rus had, I think, the advantage a little while ago. At least they had the opportunity. But England now, looking at a 237 population. 101 of that is military. 25 military here for the Rus. England scouting around, seeing if they can pick off anything. Gonna see where they're running off to. They know that there's a gold mine here, and they correctly assume. Oh man, Great job getting a little pincer, blocking the gate. Gonna lose a lot of villagers here. Rus desperately trying to get some gold. They have more. They're not producing out of all of their production buildings. They have resources in the bank. They're already imperial. They already have the elite knight upgrades. They need to be producing. That will lose them the game. The gate is open. Burned down is more accurate. Rus horsemen, this little raiding party, is not going to push in. This is going to give England a little time. Longbows, knights, men-at-arms, mangonels, the king, company, 3 mangonels and 3 bombards. 270 population now for England. 193 for the Rus. England is underestimating their position. These mangonels ain't gonna cut it. It's great, they're cheap. But you need to be producing out of the stable full time here. I don't know what they're doing. Right now, they're playing for the sacred site. They have 5 trebuchets out. They're producing full time, or at least they were, from their siege workshops, but not from their stables. I believe they have ranges. They do. Not producing out of their ranges. So a pretty major failure here. The raiding army of horsemen identifying the gold. England didn't know that gold mine. Now they've seen it. They're going to start poking away. Rus going to take a big loss here. Not picking up on this. Getting a tower out for more vision. Getting some gold. Seeing the mass ahead of them of siege. Knights trying to pick off what they can. This contingent of knights is going to do pretty well against that contingent of horsemen. Some production coming through here now. Mostly Streltsy. And now the big push of the English army coming through the front of their base. Trying to kill this siege before it can really do much about it. English horsemen running straight into the back line of siege, as are the Rus. Rus has maybe a bit of a more resilient army. Well, maybe not. I feel like the longbows and the Wingard Rangers here were a bit of a soft target and really a great counter for the Streltsy. English getting that network of citadels out, and Rus calls it. They know they can't hold the fight any longer. Well played here. We called it early that Yellow we thought Yellow had a great position there. They were in a cozy position. They had soft targets to hit. Rus, for their part, was in an excellent state, but just not able to get the momentum they needed. The critical moment up here, you can see the total unit count. England had an advantage. Rus pushed forward without the scouting to know that they were overmatched. Without that, they weren't able to build on their lead. They weren't able to utilize the population space that they earned from knocking out Teal, the Malian player, and so they never were able to really get the resources turned into the military. But that said, they missed an opportunity. They really had a chance to use the resources they had. You can see Rus was holding a high number of resources, not as high as Yellow, but they were not. Pink was not spending their resources, took fights that they couldn't win, and therefore lost the game. Well, an interesting game all around. Thank you for enjoying this with me. A good 33-minute game. Pretty quick for a Nomad one. You've been in some long ones, I'm sure. I know I have. Thanks for joining us. Catch you on the next one.